If you've already blown through everything in Borderlands 4 and you're hungry for more content, don't worry, Gearbox has cooked up an early Halloween treat for all of us. That's right, the first free limited time event is here, called the Horrors of Kairos, but the real question is it actually worth farming, or is it a haunted mess? And how do you actually farm? Let's find out. Alright, firstly, I just wanted to clear up any confusion, because in classic Gearbox fashion, this event is tripping all over itself right now. A lot of players aren't even sure how to participate. So unlike Borderlands 3, there's no questline or special area to travel to access this event or to get any quest started, because there's no quest associated with this limited time event. Instead, how you access it, you simply head over to any random world boss rift zone that spawns in a area close to you on the map. So it will only spawn in your general area on the map. If you're on the right side of the map, it'll only spawn there. Same thing with the left side of the map. So when you see a rift open up like the one on screen, head over there, take down the boss that spawns. Once it's dead, you won't get the legendary from the boss. You'll get a reward box that will spawn in your inventory. You'll have to go to the reward hub on your inventory as you see on screen. And the worst part, that box gives you a small chance at the new legendary event gear, not a guaranteed drop from the boss itself, just a random box. Honestly, it couldn't have been more disappointing than this, even if they didn't add any new legendary gear. But they also said that there would be a new weather event or new weather effect inside of the rift zones that spawn in when you're actually fighting the boss. I've only had it happen 3 out of the 10 times that I've actually fought one of these bosses, but there is a somewhat more efficient way to actually farm these rift bosses and everything like that. You do have to realize that it is RNG, unfortunately, but there is somewhat of a better way that I want to mention before we talk about the new legendary gear. Like I said, before we talk legendaries, here's the best farming method that I've found so far. Personally, I've been farming over at the Battle Wagon drill site, but I thought you said that you needed to actually go into a rift to fight one of these world bosses. Now, you are 100% right, but the Battle Wagon drill site is the Moxie's big encore event, so you might as well hang out over in this area while you're farming, because 1, you have a chance of getting more legendaries from the drill site, and 2, there's just a bunch of rifts that spawn over in this area. Now, this area over here, the coastal stretch, a lot of rifts will spawn over here, probably 1 every 5 or 10 minutes, and then obviously they could spawn all over this section too. I've had one spawn right over by the safe house. I've had some spawn right up here on the upper section of the map and everything like that. So just keep an eye out in this general area. However, this seems like a little bit of a high traffic area for rifts. A bunch of them spawn. At least that's just my time going in and playing, and that's just how it's happened for me. But some players are just driving around the map hoping to trigger spawns by going into different areas and everything. But honestly, that way is a little bit less efficient. If you just grind out the battle wagon, you've got the best shot at getting consistent rifts plus some decent loot on the side. But also, I did want to mention that you probably can go to other drill sites to do this. I just know for a fact that a bunch of rifts will spawn in this general area. I don't know if rifts can spawn all over every single section of the map, or if it's kind of just designated to a couple of points across the map. And this one here, you have the fast travel point with the safe house right here, and then I've literally had rifts spawn almost in every single area around the one safe house, so it's really easy to travel back and forth from, at least from what I found. If you think you have a better way of farming, let me know in the comments. But now, speaking of that loot, let's talk about the new legendary gear from this event. So what exactly are we doing all of this tedious farming for? Well, this event adds 2 new pieces of legendary gear, 1 assault rifle and 1 grenade mod. Now, if you think that these are going to be game breaking, I unfortunately have some pretty bad news for you. They are kind of trash, but we're still going to go over them. Now, first up, we're going to talk about the weapon, considering that it is slightly better than the grenade mod, I guess, but that's just calling a piece of trash slightly cleaner than another piece of trash. Doesn't matter. First up, though, is their Murmur, a TD or assault rifle that's honestly okay, I guess, if you're not playing on, if you're playing on like normal, and if you're level like 30. It's just okay. It's not busted, but it's not like absolute trash either. The special effect on the weapon executes weakened enemies with guaranteed crits on targets under 35% health. I'm still testing to see how it performs in a boss fight, or if the crit bonus carries over for ordnance builds. But so far, it's just average, not the best. A solid D tier weapon at best. If you get it early on in the playthrough, cool, like I said, but it's definitely not an end game weapon. Overall, the damage is lacking. I do have to say the chuck damage is actually pretty good, and at least the one that I got chucked into two TDR assault rifles as well, so it did double damage. If you do have a TDR chuck build, it could be pretty solid, but there are going to be some better, more cost-efficient options out there for you. Like I said, if you're able to snag one in the early game, it's cool, I guess, you know, but that's obviously just one part of the puzzle here. There is a grenade mod, but like I said, the assault rifle is better than the grenade mod, so unfortunately you shouldn't be excited at all. If you do want to get it though, like I said, go and farm those rift bosses. I got one within like 5 farms, so it's really not that difficult of a farm. It's just kind of boring and lackluster, and you get pretty terrible weapons. But onto the grenade mod. Next up is Skully, the grenade mod. And if you remember the Borderlands 3 gas call, it looks very familiar, and it seems like it's going to be very familiar, but it's obviously not as good. So the effect reads: grenade releases seeking projectiles that track the nearest target. Sounds cool, but obviously it's not good at all. In practice, this thing should be really good. However, it does minimal damage when it's tracking, and the explosive damage itself is also pretty terrible. I feel like they really wanted to make another gas call, but it definitely falls right on its face. Now, on a grenade focus build like a Rafa build or something like that, it might do okay, but in general, it's an F tier. I love the novelty of the item because it's cool, it's a skull, but that's all it is. It's a novelty. It's not a must-have, and it will not help any of your builds, so you don't have to stop what you're doing to go out there and grind this thing. It's just more of a FOMO thing. So there was the assault rifle, the Murmur, it's D tier, and then the Skully grenade mod, just straight up F tier. It's not a good grenade. If you guys feel different, let me know in the comments, but I would say both of these weapons are pretty awful. If you're only here for the new legendary gear and the best farming method, you could dip out now, because that's about it for you, unfortunately. Just farm the rifts in that little area that I showed you over by the battle wagon, and then also just, you know, that's really all that you can do, is just farm it there and then hope that you get a legendary from the stupid little box. But if you're in it to cosmetics, there are a couple of cool freebies. Now, obviously, you're going to have to use a shift code. Here's the shift code on screen. Go ahead, use it. I'll also have the link to the Gearbox article that features the shift code and kind of how this event works if you want to read it instead of listen to me explain it. But everyone gets a shift code for the Gourd Your Loin skin, a fun little pumpkin head. You could use it on all of the 4 Vault Hunters. I don't know if it's going to carry over to the next Vault Hunters and everything like that. Maybe you'll have to wait until next Halloween, but it's goofy, it's festive, and it's free, so if you want to run around with a pumpkin head and play on Halloween with your friends, there you go, I guess. This is the perfect time. There's also a shift code for the Hex Appeal weapon skin, and honestly, it looks incredible. It's probably one of the cleanest skins in the game right now. I love it, and since it's free, you might as well grab it. Again, use this shift code. I think you have it until like 2030 or something like that. The website says to use this shift code, so make sure you use it in the next 5 years, and you're good to go. But that's about it. We get one new assault rifle, the Murmur, we get the grenade mod, the Skully, we get a character skin for all 4 Vault Hunters, we get a weapon skin called the Hex Appeal, that's kind of just like a purple hex that looks pretty cool, and that's really all that we get from the event. And I mean, granted, it's kind of trash weapons for just a trash event. You don't really have to do anything. There's no storyline. It's extremely disappointed. Again, just look for those rifts. Go over to the Battle Wagon drill site and just farm it that way. If you're asking yourself, should you really participate? I mean, if you have FOMO, go for it, but I would rather just not even bother with the Horrors of Kairos. If you're a collector and you want to check out the Halloween vibes, sure, run a few rifts. It's okay. It's nothing really crazy or anything, but if you're hoping for a deep event or some meta-breaking loot like in Borderlands 3, this one is pretty underwhelming. It feels like more a test run for kind of what they could get away with for future DLCs and everything like that, so I hope the first paid DLC has significantly more content in store than this one, or else people are going to be pretty upset with Gearbox. But I mean, that's not really new. But again, if you want to participate, if you have FOMO, go for it. But if not, you could go ahead and skip this. I would suggest you farm your shinies or go ahead and farm your specialization levels or something a little bit more important. Well, we've made it to the end of another Borderlands 4 video. I hope you found it useful and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this event, let me know in the comments. Again, we only have a limited time to go out there and get these new legendaries, so best of luck to everyone who's farming. If you do, for some odd reason, want to farm a perfect version of both of these, go ahead, good luck. You will have to run a lot of rifts, but let me know in the comments if you guys have any differing opinions than I about these two weapons, or if you have a better farm that makes this not so terrible for everyone out there. But again, it's only limited time. Go out there. It's free. What the hell? It's just 2 new legendaries that they probably could have added in at the base game. So best of luck to everyone. As always, I appreciate you motherfuckers for watching this motherfucking video. Good luck hunting the new legendaries.